Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and welcome back to Aokana. Episode 17 of this wonderful Let's Play. It's been a long journey, but we probably still haven't even gone halfway through the game because we've got Mashiro's, Misaki's and Asuka's routes left to do as well. Hint for the order in which I'm going to do things in. It's 3 days away, whether we like it or not. We have to lay it all out on the table soon enough. We've been practicing our hearts out, honing individual techniques and competing in practice matches. And in one such match, Asuka forces her way into Rika's path as she's flying at full speed while trying to throw in a feint. I'm aiming for your head! I won't let you! Rika tries to shake off Asuka with a low yo-yo. Take this! Asuka shoots past as Rika has intended, but... Nah, come on, Rika. You gotta stop being flinched by the unexpected. Pants leak from Rika's tightly closed lips. And Rika forces her body to twist upward, suddenly dropping in speed as she shifts from a descent into a climb. What? Rika's speed may have dropped, but gaining her form has given a huge burst of speed, allowing her to easily pass over Asuka's head. Yeah! I made it! Nice! That was perfect! Thank you so much! Aw, she totally beat me! I did it! I think that's the first time I've ever managed to get past Asuka-san like that. Now that you mention it, you might be right. That's not true at all. You've passed me loads of times, haven't you? Well, yes, but not in the same way. It's not like Rika's never gotten past Asuka before, but it was always through force. Overwhelming her with speed was her only viable strategy. This is probably the first time she's actually managed to successfully use a feint, and it wasn't just luck. All of Rika's hard work has finally paid off! And not just hers, but everyone else's as well. Everyone else's help has made her improve leaps and bounds. Okay, Rika, return to the boy. Asuka, you wait for her nearby. Let's take it from the top one more time. I won't let you pass me this time. I'll do my best to get through. Definitely is a live commentary. Is everything proceeding well? Huh? Oh, it's you, Shatuin-san. And Shindu-san, too. Hey, how's it going? We came to see how they're doing. You came to see Rika, right? Well, she hasn't been showing up at Takafuji. We do trust you, but we still wish to remain informed. I trust she's not causing any problems. No problems at all. It's the same as always around here, really. We all value her presence a lot. She keeps the club room nice and tidy, so how can we even complain? Not that I'm able to say that, they might start doubting our motives if I do. Really now? You're not lying to me, are you? I can show you the club room as evidence. I wouldn't lie about something like that. Oh well, that's good. Shindu-san smiles. Shadowcan can be rather overprotective. Me? Overprotective? How preposterous! Preposterous! Shadowcan is so embarrassed she forgets to call him out on not using the right name. I simply need to ensure that Ichino-san is representing Takafuji well. That counts as overprotective if you ask me. No, I'm telling you that... You came at the perfect time. Rika's flying right now, so why don't you go see how she's doing? Shadowin-san clears her throat. That sounds wonderful. Ichino-san has improved quite a bit. Yeah, I agree. You can really see how far she's come. It's incredible. Indeed, she's gotten so much better at regaining her form. Even more focused movements don't cause her to lose speed anymore. Well, colour me impressed. Think you could tell me what kind of magic you use? There is no magic involved. If you're looking for a reason, I guess you could say this is all thanks to Kawabochi. Kasumi Kawabochi? Shadowin-san's face clouds over. What do you mean? Well, we shouldn't be thanking her or anything, but Rika has been giving it her all and practicing to face rougher opponents like Kawabochi. Oh, I get it. Good. Shadowin-san shakes her head in exasperation. would you mind explaining things to me before deciding that everything is clear? Playing rough in FC is all about being unafraid of losing your form while using techniques designed to destroy your opponents. Thank you for your thorough explanation. So you're saying that in training to play against rough players, you learn how to restore your form as fast as possible. Exactly. I noticed that myself while making them practice. So that's the secret to throwing in feints without dropping your speed. It all makes sense now. That's not all though. Her solutional reaction speed has also gotten faster. I suppose that is thanks to the same trainer as well. That's right. What should I do? What's the current situation? What about my opponent? How far is it to the next boy? Either when your form gets destroyed, you need to have the handle on all those questions. You have to have a handle. Making even the slightest mistake can lead your opponent racking up consecutive points. We started training like this out of necessity, but surprisingly though, fortunately, it comes with a lot of benefits. We made the right decision, letting Echino's know come here. We did. She probably wouldn't have grown this much if she had stayed at Takafuji, as much as I hate to admit it. Shadowin-san's expression stiffens, despite the smile on her face. However, what is it? Have you managed to train her mental fortitude? That's her biggest weakness. Unfortunately, not everything comes so easily. Indeed. Moments of surprise or foul play tend to make her weakness prominent. But, yeah, unlike before, she knows her weakness. Right. Other people may have pointed out her weakness in the past, but it's whether or not you know your own weaknesses. But I doubt Echino's-can knew why it was a weakness in the first place. On the surface, she may have understood that her overly diligent personality was a weakness, but she never knew why. Perhaps her diligent personality, or rather, the chains on her heart, stopped her from ever thinking of that. But things are different now. I think her encounter with Kurabochi helped her change. She truly realized what happens when she got confused, or what happens when she gets angry. Asuka's been forcing Rika to face her weakness during these practice sessions lately, so I think she's come to fully understand them. You say Asuka Kuroshina's doing this? You probably already know this, but when Asuka gets serious, she's real scary. I see. So Echino's-can finally understands. I think she's facing up to them now as she practices. If she isn't, there's no way she'd be practicing so hard. At this point, it's just a matter of seeing how far she can take it in a match, correct? Yeah, but we won't know until the tournament actually begins. The best players in practice matches can turn out to be completely average in tournaments. In baseball, they call them ballpin aces. They're players who do great in practice but suck out on the field. Being able to draw out your full potential in a real match separates the strong from the weak. I can't wait to see Echino's-can play a real match. Shendo-san suddenly turns to face Shadowin-san. I think we should get going. Whatever for? We came all this way, so we should go and see Echino's-san. Shendo-san smiles once more, and it's at this point that Shadowin-san realizes why he's asking to leave. You're right. It is our duty to watch over her. I'm glad you understand. Shadowin-san looks up at the field like she wishes she could stay and help. I do understand. Then she turns around to face me with a snap. She glares at me sharply. What is it? After a while, she bows deeply. Allow me to ask you to take good care of Rika Ichino's one more time. Yes, madam. You're like a mom giving their daughter away for marriage, Shatukan. Please don't joke about that stuff. Still, that's what it feels like for us. Is he warning me not to do anything funny, or saying he trusts her in my hands? Probably both, to be honest. I know. I'll take care of her. That's a promise. In more ways than one, but we won't say that at this point in time. In fact, I'd already decided long ago to do just that. Today's practice is over, but Rika and I have stayed behind to get some more work done. Real matches are right in front of us, so we want to do everything we can to ensure we have no regrets. I blow into my headset. Up. Yes. Down right. Yes. Accelerate. Yes. Put your back into it. Yes. Rika flies according to my instructions as we repeat the drills over and over again. It takes time for anyone to put all instructions into practice. Unfortunately, that's unavoidable because it takes time to process information after it reaches your ears. For example, when I instruct Rika to move her arms, that information has to move from her ears to her brain, where it then processed and moved along to her arms. If we keep on practicing her moving as soon as she can after my order, we'll be able to tighten that window. If we can add fast reaction times to Rika's already quick speed, then she'll become a pretty damn strong player. If you can regain your form quickly, then there's nothing scary about a dogfight. If you can react quickly, then it becomes easier to give your opponent the slip. If you can keep your cool no matter what an opponent tries against you in a dogfight, then you can use your speed to outdo them. Just keep accelerating without worrying about what to do if you're stopped in your tracks. That's the ideal form of a speeder. Exhausted? Okay, we'll stop here for today. I can still continue. No, overexerting yourself leads to injuries. You're right. I'll pass Rika a drink as she descends and turns off her grav shoes. Thank you very much. You are really great out there. I bet you can compete for a top spot at the tournament. You really mean that? I do. What, you don't believe in yourself? Don't you feel like you've improved? I do, but well, being complimented by you is quite embarrassing. Rika lets out an adorable little giggle, but then suddenly stiffens up. Rika? I turn to see what she's looking at. And there she is. Arms, legs, torso, neck. They form a grotesque silhouette that's hanging above the sky. Sweat starts to form on the palms of my clenched fists. Kasumi Kurabochi. The corners of Kurabochi's mouth starts to curve up as she stares at Rika. Heh heh. She scorns her with her laugh. Her presence. Why are you here? I call out to her, but she just continues to stare at Rika. I thought I owed you an update. What kind of update? Kurabochi corrects her posture before she answers that question. Thanks to my exemplary conduct, I, Kasumi Kurabochi, have been granted permission to participate in the full tournament. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, one and all. She doesn't look at me once, even though she was answering my question. She continued to stare solely at Rika. You can knock people out with pincers, even fracture someone's wrists. But if you really insist it was all an accident, then well, it doesn't matter at all. That's great. It is. Kurabochi's long torso flops forward as she peers at Rika. What's so great about that? Oh, do tell me, pretty please. Her bloodshot eyes bore holes into Rika. I'm glad you haven't been banned. Why? Why? Just why? Why would you tell such a lie? You're scared, aren't you? So scared of little old me that you want to run away. Anything to avoid having to play against me. Right. I want to face you, Kurabochi-san. Oh, do you now? Kurabochi seems to rotate her head in place. The dark aura around her intensifies. You really want to face me? Her behavior is extremely intimidating. Someone like you will be overwhelmed, left in tatters. I'll have you begging to be spared from ever playing FC again when I'm done. I'll prove just how superior I am. I have no interest in that. I just play with and for the people from Takafuji, Kunohama, and Iwakirishima Central. With them, they're all gonna come play with you. Maybe save your sorry ass. Rika stands firm and puffs out her chest. I have everyone inside my heart. No matter what, that's how we'll fight together, and it's something I'll never forget again. You can go ahead and play on your own, but I'll be with everyone else. Kawabochi seems to draw back a little. Though she seems to be recalling in shock that her tactics aren't working more than anything. I see now. Kawabochi may excel at getting other people to follow her lead, but she doesn't know how to deal with people who won't play along. I doubt most people can understand her pressure, so I bet it rarely ever happens. Rika glares at Kawabochi. You were so scared of me, Rika-chan, that you forced yourself to get all tough? How adorable. You're just as adorable, Kawabochi-san. Huh? There's something that's been bothering me ever since you first appeared at Takafuji. Rika ignores Kawabochi's provocative words and approaches her. Hey Rika. What is it? Gonna test your luck by hitting me? Kawabochi tries to provoke Rika once again, but Rika keeps on walking towards her. Hey. When she gets within 10 meters of her, Rika stops and leans in toward Kawabochi's face. What the hell is she up to? This is kind of dangerous. I knew it. Huh? What? I'm dumbfounded as Rika takes hold of Kawabochi's hands. What? You're saying that she changed her name? Huh? She suddenly uses a weird nickname as she talks to Kawabochi. Wait, Sachan? Is that? Yeah, her childhood friend. I had one more friend back in Kanoshima who was really important to me. A girl named Sachan. She was one who introduced FC to me in the first place. Right. Rika did mention a friend she had back in Kanoshima who she'd been separated from years ago. Is she saying that's Kasumi Kawabochi? I don't know how Kawabochi was in the past, so maybe I don't have the right to judge, but she seems far from the image of the kind girl who taught Rika how to play FC. However, Kawabochi is evidently disturbed. She hasn't denied it, so... The two of you are old friends, huh? That's the only conclusion I can come to. As a famous detective once said, once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, no matter how improbable, must be the truth. I told you, right, that we'd meet again in a tournament. Rika did mention that she'd promised to meet her friend Sachan in an FC tournament. Which means that in a strange way, they fulfilled their promise. But I don't understand. Why do you play like you do, Sachan? Kawabochi remains silent. Kawabochi seems to compose herself, eyebrows raised as she releases a sharp breath. Then she shakes free from Rika's hands. You'd remember now. Kawabochi smiles derisively, combing her hand through her dark hair. That means you remember, Sachan. Me? Don't be absurd. I have no need to remember. Huh? I've never forgotten anything. The smile finally fades from her face, the scorn and derision gone from her expression, but in its place is regret, pain, frustration, because the only reason I still play FC is to defeat you. I've never seen Kawabochi look like this. No way. Oh, is that a surprise? It makes total sense to me, personally. Maybe you'd understand if you tasted the despair of realizing the girl you trained to play FC is far more talented than you. No, it can't be. I've always been jealous of you. Ah! My chest starts to ache. Kurabochi is traumatized like me. But you were always so good at FC, Sachan. I've always wanted to be like you. Please, don't make me laugh. Why would a girl who had become a regular in her freshman year at Takafuji look up to me? A frail smile appears on Kazumi's face. Sachan. Don't call me that! It's a dumb nickname! I imagine she has to force that thin smile to keep herself from exploding. That's what makes her scary. Sadly, I know exactly how that feels. Because I was the same as her once. Kurabochi's laughter isn't to threaten Rika this time. Instead, she's using it to protect herself. And the sound alone makes my chest to throb with pain. Ka-chan makes you sound like a boy, but So-chan is cute, so let's go with that. God, it's so damn childish. I get sick to my stomach just thinking about it. Come on, these two look like they were friends once upon a time. Kurabochi slams her palm against her chest. My parents divorced, so I changed my name. Then she scowls at Rika. The way I fight has changed too. And finally, she leans in toward her. How could you keep those pure, innocent memories when everything else has changed? Rika lowers her head. If we happen to meet in the tournament, I'll do everything in my power to crush you. I'm going to be ever so cruel to you. I'll destroy all those precious memories you hold so dear. Kurabochi's back to normal now. For a moment, I hoped that Rika's memories will act as a key to help her, but obviously that didn't work out. The corners of Kurabochi's mouth once again turn upwards, forming a sneer. And that sinister aura begins emanating at the exact same time. This must be so painful for Rika. Rika? Or so I thought, but her expression is still firm. You haven't changed. And then... You're still so cute, Sachan. You haven't changed at all from back then. You're still going on about that stuff. Just give it up. You're cute, Sachan. I mean it. You're really, really cute. Look, You're adorable. Just stop. Adorable, I say. Stop it! Kurabochi finally loses her cool. This is how you plan to turn the tables? How pathetic. That'll never work. That's enough. I don't care what you're thinking or what you intend to do. I only care about one thing. I will crush you. I'll make it so you never want to look at FC again. Kurabochi drags her feet along the ground as she backs away from us, only turning to walk away when she builds up a considerable distance. And there she goes. I'll watch her back until she vanishes, just to make sure. The way she walks makes it clear that she's ready to dodge an attack from behind at any moment. And that makes me realize she lives in a state of constant tension and paranoia. It hurts. Feels like I'm staring at myself in a way, even. Rika breaths a sigh and suddenly staggers. Whoa, careful! I rush to support her. I suddenly feel all dizzy. Sachan's really tense. The way he handles her was incredible. Oh, you think so? Totally. Can't believe you drove her away by calling her cute. Well, I was just being honest. She's just hiding how cute she is behind the way she acts and talks. Rika clenches her fists. That's why I need to remind Sachan how fun FC can be. Right. Rika looks up at me and smiles. So, Kasumi or Sachan's parents was the catalyst towards her paranoia, her drive to insanity. I'm confident now. I can face Sachan in the sky. I know it. Not just her. You can play against anyone, Rika. Give this tournament all you've got. I will. Rika nods, and I feel a newfound sense of strength coming from her. She might actually be able to put up a fight now against both Kasumi Kabochi and herself. The battle is drawing near. I gather my resolve as I await its arrival. And I'm sure they had a few more nights of cuddly wuddly nuddly, something like that. A few days later, we're done with practice, so Rika and I are on our way home. Benefits of being neighbours. Is something wrong? Rika's been talking less the closer we get to home. Maybe she's nervous because it's almost time for the fall tournament. That wouldn't be all bad. The right amount of nerves would put it in a perfect mental state, but too much would just get her feeling all exhausted before her matches even begin. Practicing without proper motivation can lead to making careless mistakes that result in injuries. But on the other hand, being too worked and pushing yourself to the absolute limit can also result in injury. That's why there's a healthy balance. There's also the mental side of things. If your emotions run hot for too long, you will start to feel drained, and if you're mentally drained, it'll take longer for you to recover physically. That's why most professional athletes, especially the very best ones, have hobbies they dedicate a lot of time to keep a healthy balance. How many days do we have before the tournament? Well, it doesn't really matter now. I still know it's too early for her to be getting all worked up. I need to get her to relax. The moment I think about saying something, she suddenly drops and turns to face me. Huh? Masaya-san. Her gaze is filled with determination. What's up? There's something I want to discuss. Is it about Kawabochi? No, it isn't. I already have my answer for Sachan, or rather, I know what I have to do. I see. That's good. Then what's with the determined look? Seems Rika's already decided how she's going to confront Kawabochi. That's good. I doubt Kawabochi will be able to get under her skin as she's this sure of her course of action. All that's left is confirming how to deal with her dirty tricks. You see, Masaya-san. Yeah? Rika fidgets. She's clearly a little nervous. Well, you said your parents weren't home today, didn't you? Huh? Oh, yeah, they aren't. Please don't drag this in a weird way. You weren't thinking some dirties now. No! I totally was. Was I off base? You were, honestly. As I said, you're incredibly one of those. I mean, she asked about... Yeah, exactly. What was I supposed to think? I've done nothing wrong. So why'd you ask about... Yeah, exactly. Well, you've done so much for me, but I'd like to show you my thanks before the tournament. You want to thank me? Nah, it's fine. With the tournament so close, I probably won't get another chance anytime soon. This is the perfect opportunity. Listen, I'm telling you not to worry about it. Please let me. You've been coaching me even though I'm a Takafuji student, so I obviously owe you a great debt. It won't sit right with me otherwise. I've learned a lot from you too, Rika. Besides, our club doesn't have many members, so having you around has been a huge help. I honestly don't know what we would have done without her. Having to practice with just Masaki and Mishira sounds like a disaster, yeah. They need some motivation to put them in their stead. And Rika was that motivation. Plus, the sight of Rika has been so motivated has helped me convince them to take practice more seriously. I still think I need to thank you. What a kind, diligent girl. Well, like they say, it's the thought that counts. Rika frowns ever so slightly. I thought you might say that, Masaya-san. How about this, then? Rika bows her head. If you don't let me thank you properly, I'll be so bothered but I won't be able to concentrate on my matches, so please, accept this selfish request. You sure about that? Absolutely. Great, now I can't refuse. Of course you can't. I learned how kind and diligent you can be from watching you interact with your club. Wow, we have the exact same thoughts about each other. Man, it feels like she has me in the palm of her hand. So how are you planning on thanking me? Maybe with a present? Nah, that would have nothing to do with my parents. Yeah, exactly. There's only one thing in mind. Only one thing. Why don't I cook dinner for you tonight? If that's fine by you, I mean. Okay, that's a more suitable option. And an option I prefer, actually. Of course it is. You're a godly cook, Rika. A home-cooked meal from you sounds like a dream come true. That's great. I was worried about what to do if you said no. Rika does a happy little hop on the spot. I'll head right over as soon as I'm ready, so please wait in your room. Why my room? You're not planning on cooking in there, are you? Cooking takes place in the kitchen, obviously. There's a lot of preparations involved. Preparations? In my room? Yes. Shouldn't she be doing those in the kitchen? Yeah, I'm thinking that. Can you turn around for a moment? Why? Well, it's a surprise. Like some sort of mystery meat. What the hell is that? Oh, wait, has she learned some magic? Maybe a beautiful woman will jump out of a cake. Or she'll pull out a bunch of chicken wings from a top hat. Yeah, that does sound like her. Well, I doubt it'll be anything that dramatic, but you never know. I'm pretty excited. Anyway, please turn around. She's scorning me now. Is this okay? Having no reason to refuse, I turn to face the wall. Yes, that's fine. I'll tell you when I'm done, so please don't turn around until I do. Gotcha. I hear the rustling of clothes behind me. Wait. Okay, stop. Maybe she needs to change clothes for a sleight of hand trick. Yeah, I wouldn't want to ruin it. I definitely shouldn't turn around. Naturally, my instincts are begging me to. But I know she'll get all depressed if I do, especially since I promised not to. Still, she's changing right behind me. Is this practically an invitation to peek? But no, I've got to control myself. Rika trusts me, so I can't just betray her. I'm done. You can turn around now. Finally. Well, ta-da! A cooking apron. Wow. What? Ta-da! Huh? Yes, ta-da! Rika does a little pirouette on the spot as she says that. Ta-da! Well... Rika's probably confused by the utterly dumbfounded expression on my face. Did I make a mistake? She sounds nervous now. Well, before that, I don't even know what your intentions are. Rika's wearing an apron over... Yep. My intentions? Yeah. Think you could explain? If I have to explain, that means I made a mistake. Rika hangs her head and starts fidgeting. I wanted to thank you, so I thought I should do something guys liked. I found this idea when I looked up things online. This is yet another example of Rika's over-diligent personality. Overly. I can easily imagine her messing up a search term or something. She's not really all that great with computers. The most popular result I found was something called a naked apron, which seems fitting. How exactly does it seem fitting? Oh, really? Not sure I'd say it's the most popular thing out there, but I imagine if the question was simply, do you like naked aprons, yes or no, then a lot of guys would say yes. But that's not a naked apron, is it? Look, if you're thinking of it like that, it wouldn't be an apron in the first place, because there'd be nothing there. No, if I'd gone for that, I would have died from embarrassment so decided on a swimsuit apron. Her head jerks up suddenly at that. I'm so sorry, you must be disappointed by my half-hearted attempt. I'll take the swimsuit ride off right away. No, it's okay, I am good with a swimsuit apron. But you don't look all that happy. No, you've got it all wrong. How? Like, I totally wasn't expecting this, so I'm just real confused. She warned me about a surprise, but I never would have imagined this. The swimsuit apron is, really great, so I'm happy. But, I think it might have been better to tell me in advance. Really? I thought the surprise factor would make you even happier. It's great and all, but like, If you told me you were going to do it, I'd have been so excited I could barely contain it. So I should have told you? Yeah, that you'd have me raring to go. I don't think anything would have made me happier. Rika seems lost in thought. Wait, you mean you like being teased, Masaya-san? No, don't take it that way. I can already imagine her trying to tease me at the worst possible moments. Now that I know better, should I get changed? Oh no, there's no need for that. Huh? But there isn't? You're gonna cook for me and that, yeah? Yes, that's the plan. Why aren't you saying anything? I'm pretty sure any man would die to have the girl they love do this for them. This is the happiest moment of my life. But really? Yeah. So I want you to keep it up. Rika raised her hands to her chest and sighs. Phew, I knew you were that kind of person, Masaya-san. There's an innocent smile on her face as she says that. I try to say innocent and smile at the same time. That kind of person. Really? Well, she doesn't seem to mind, so I guess it's fine. Too much skin for YouTube. Thanks for today. Oh no, I'm sorry for making you go along with my selfish request. Don't be silly. The noodles and salad were delish. I'm happy to hear you say that. Rika squirms a little. Thank you very much. No, I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. What? This is going to be very embarrassing if I'm wrong, but... You were holding back, weren't you? Yeah, yes. Huh? Holding back how? Holding yourself back? Yeah. Well, I don't know. I doubt I'm fooling anyone. I was actually wondering if you... Oh my goodness sakes. If this was anybody else, this would be very creepy, but... Since these two are in a relationship, I guess it can kind of fly. She was, but then, sheesh, I blanked up. I could have... No! No! But I knew you liked being teased, Masaya-san, so I thought it was better to not say anything. Right. She really took that conversation to heart, huh? However, I also realised you wouldn't dare yet while I was holding a knife, especially with the tournament coming up. I'm so embarrassed. Oh, yeah, you was. Let's just go to show that not just men have these kind of thoughts. For goodness sakes, anybody can have them. While you were just worried about my safety the whole time. Man, am I ever glad I didn't... Yes! If I did, I may have lost her trust as a coach. Yep. Thank you for looking out for me. I feel extremely grateful. I'm really, really glad I didn't... Yeah. Oh no. I'm glad she felt that way. What do I even say here? I'm sorry. I wanted to thank you, but I just ended up worrying you more. Oh no, you don't need to apologize. Your swimsuit apron was real sassy, so I'm more than satisfied. Maybe, but it was still extremely foolish of me. I only focused on making you happy and ignored any potential risks involved. I'll reflect on my mistakes and strive to do better in the future. Rika, stop doubting yourself. Here comes her diligent side again. You don't need to reflect or anything. Let's just do our best at the tournament. Huh? Oh, yes. I will. We will. While I look up. Once the tournament's over and we have time, maybe, you could just make me sandwiches or something. Huh? Okay. Rika gives me an enthusiastic nod. I'll wear the swimsuit apron and cook something simple. So it sounds good. But thank you. She bows. You're still looking out for me, even now. You're ever so kind, Masaya-san. Man, she has a really good opinion of me. Rika looks up. Summer will end soon, and then we have the fall tournament on the horizon. Yep, it's already right in front of us. I wish we had more time. Oh, are you nervous? That would make sense, though I never heard her wish for more time. I'm a little surprised. Maybe she's still not comfortable with the idea of facing Kawaboji. I'm sure she's got that in set. It's not that I'm nervous about the match. It's just been so much fun spending time with you, working toward the same goal, that I wish things could stay this way. They will. Huh? We'll keep on working towards our goals together. Don't you worry. Right. She gives me a serious nod, then smiles sweetly. Maha. 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 Aha, here we go. The Nagasaki preliminaries for the fall newcomer Flying Circus tournament will now begin. A voice from the speakers carries over the clear blue skies. The day has finally arrived. It's time to put everything we've trained for into action. Asuka's eyes sparkle as she looks up and does a happy little jump. Hey, it's finally started, huh? Yep. Doesn't really feel like it's the right weather for a fall tournament, does it? Maduka's right, it's so hot it might as well be summer still. There are occasions in autumn months where it can still feel like summer. Although looking out my window right now, it is bursting with rain. There are lines building outside the Snowco stands, and several booths have out-of-stock stickers over their drinks. It would have been nice if all the trees have turned to gold at least. Makes you wonder why they're holding another tournament out right after the summer one. They're not that close. We had the whole summer break to practice, which leaves a lot of time for people to grow. Good point. Rika-chan's gone from a little kitty to a big cat. Me? Rika's going to look at the tournament schedule with us before returning to the guys from Takafuji. Makes sense. You've come pretty far since the last tournament, you know. Well, only because Masaya sounds such a good second. Everyone's agreed that I'll be Rika's second during her matches. There are a lot of loopholes in the rules for FC seconds. This might be irrelevant from when not many schools participated, but a player's second can be from another school. That might eventually change, but rules like that are scattered throughout FC. Other loopholes like that may even be what helped Kawabochi skate by. You've gotten a lot stronger, Rika-chan. Yeah, you have. They're right, you're going to be such a good player that I won't stand a chance against you. Not that I even stand much of a chance now, really. Shut up, Mashiro. Oh no, but I have been practicing really hard, so I do hope it pays off. Same. Well, don't worry. I'm sure you'll be able to show everyone how much you've grown. Of course, results are important too, but that still comes first. Right. Let's break a leg out there. Not literally. Yeah. I will. Hopefully not literally. I just said that. Now then, I decide to run through the players around me one more time. Asuka's been away from practice for a while. She's a clear disadvantage. Misaki's lack of practice is undeniable. Michio has barely even taken off her training wheels. I'm sure everyone for Kunohama wants to give this their best shot, but I can only really rely on Rika at the moment. So what do our brackets look like? Hope you end up playing Shadow-in-San against Mashiro, but she can't. But he's not even here. He's retired. I sure don't. I'd rather not play anyone who's actually good. Give me people who are like me. Asuka hops forward and stares at the bracket. Fine, let's take a look, though I have a really bad feeling about this. Oh, I found you, Mashiro-chan. What? But where? Right here. Asuka points right at Mashiro's name. My opponent is... What? This happens to you a lot, doesn't it? At least it's someone exactly like you. You got just what you wanted, huh? Well, yeah, but I can already tell if it's going to get ugly, and I hate it. Arika Aku... Ah, that girl. Those two that were bashing like cats and dogs. I know this will be tough, but you've got to do it. I know that. First I get Shadow-in-San in the summer tournament, and now this? I have the worst luck ever. Rika stands upright, staring at the bracket. Where are you, Rika? I'm right next to Mashiro-chan. Huh? What? You actually are. Great, I have to face someone I know if I win the first round. We don't know if I'll make it to the second round. You'll definitely win. Why is my luck so bad? The tournament gods must hate me. Personally, I think they're fond of you. Like, you're their personal plaything, you know. Well, I don't want to be their plaything. Rika participates in the conversation for a little bit before falling silent again. What's up? Ah, right next to my name is Sachan's. Kasumi Kowabochi. What are the chances of that happening? Wow. Is this fate? In tournaments, for whatever reason, there always seems to be players you face every single time, and those you'll never face. It might seem ridiculous, but because of that, some things that happen in tournaments feel like fate. And this just happens to be one of them. I can't say, but it is reality. I've trained for this. I've trained to fight Sachan. Yeah. But now that I'm really going to play her, it feels strange. Kowabochi's intimidating figure flashes through my mind. I'm going to face her. If Kowabochi gets far enough, I'm sure Sachan will win. I know it. Rika mutters as if wanting herself. As for me, is there anyone I know? Oh, I have to fight anyway-san in the third round. I see. I don't really want any of us to face anyway again, to be honest. Thanks to Asuka's injury, we didn't manage to make much progress with strategies to counter anyway. But I can learn so much from that match. I'm so excited. And as for me, looks like I'll be up against Ganiko-san in the third round. Ganiko-san? As in the girl Tani calls Big Sister? Yep. Us Kurihama sisters can't lose to them. I don't remember us ever being sisters, Mashiro. Oh, for goodness sakes. Please try to. Not sure that's how it works. I've got a picture of a bracket on my phone. Great, guess it's time to start warming up. I'll be going back to my club for now, but I'll be back. Good luck, everyone. You too. Same. Let's do this. Before I have a chance to get annoyed by the lack of seriousness in Masaki's voice, fireworks go off to start the signal of the first match. There's a muffled bang and a cloud of smoke. I also have a feeling that whatever route we take gets us to this point here, but also the person which we choose will have a fighting chance against their fated opponent. The tournament started. It sure has. So I think the final will be Rika versus Anyway. The full tournament has finally begun. The matches proceed amidst the bustling noise that is no way inferior to that of the Summer tournament. And it doesn't take long before all the first round matches are over. Mashiro! Heh. I won! God, shut up already, you're making me all depressed. Hey Mashiro, can I ask you something? What? So, it kind of slipped my mind, but who was it that I beat in the first round again? Me, it was me, okay, I lost, now hurry back to your club. I don't wanna. But why not? Because I want to see the frustration on your face. It'll make my victory even more sweet. You really are a vile person. I call out to Masaki, who's currently cooling down with Asuka, to make sure their fatigue doesn't carry over to the next round. Okay, so those two managed to succeed in their first rounds. Shouldn't you say something to stop them? Why don't you speak up if they're bothering you? Just figure it would be easier if you get involved. No way, if I say something, their claws will get sharper. Not sure how she arrived at that conclusion, but I do get that point though. But won't Mashiro get hurt at this rate? Don't worry, she'll be fine. Those two are just playing around. It'd be way weird if Rika was being nice to Mashiro. You think? You really believe in those two, huh, Misaki-chan? Yeah, exactly. It's not the fact that she believes them, but it's just like, that's how it goes. Nah, that's not really right. Oh, hey, it's Rika-chan. Rika comes trotting over us and gives Misaki a small bow. Congratulations on passing the first round. You too. Congratulations, it was a great match. Thank you. I thought I'd get to play against Mashiro-chan next though. Misaki and Rika made it through the first round, but Mashiro lost to Okuzi. Wait, I thought Rika's first round was... Surely we would have been fated to see that match, wouldn't we? Misaki and Rika made it through the first round, but Mashiro lost to Rika Okuzi, and they're still clashing. If Mashiro had won, she would have faced Rika next. And now, if Rika can beat Okuzi, the chances of her facing Kurobochi in the third round are high. Okay. So the girl Mashiro-chan is talking to, she's the one who beat Mashiro-chan, right? Apparently they're old friends. Yeah, apparently. They're friends? I guess they don't look it with the way they're fighting. I'm just going to say they have history. They're just showing how much they like each other. I'm sure of it. Yeah, in their own ways. I don't know. Yeah, I'm with Misaki on that one. That girl is my next opponent, huh? Oh, Rika-san! Mashiro, having noticed Rika's arrival, suddenly points at Okuzi. Please say something to this girl. Huh? Who's that? Your next opponent. Ah! Rika gives Rika a rude stare. It's nice to meet you. Rika-san's from Takafuji, but she's been trained with us at Kunohama and she's super strong. Oh, so she's a friend of yours, is she? Nice, I'm gonna crush her too. Like if she's your friend, she's gotta be weak. That's not true. Rika-san, please, you have something to say. Well, say what exactly? She turns to look at Misaki, searching for help. Maybe something like, I'm gonna send you to the 5 pits of hell, baby. Nah, I wouldn't do that. Are you sure? I think it sounds cool. It does? Nah, I'm with Masaya on this one. Okay then. I'm gonna send you to the 5 pits of hell in the next match, baby, so, I'm looking forward to it. How am I supposed to respond? She's asking you nicely, so just agree to be sent to the 5 pits of hell. Sounds like the perfect place for you. It is not. God, this is so lame. Okuzi points at Rika with a snap. I'm gonna crush you in our match. Just you wait. Oh yes, I'm looking forward to it. Let's make it a good match. Ugh, whatever. I'm leaving. She's obviously trying to get a taunt out of everyone. And it's not working. And don't come back. I'll be back after I win. Akuza storms off. You handled that well. You really think I did a good job? In the past, you probably would have just gotten angry. Probably, yes. I used to let everything get under my skin before. I was so bad at dealing with being provoked. I think training at Kurohama has helped me develop into someone who can keep calm under pressure. I'm glad we helped. But you know, maybe you just built up a tolerance because we're all crazy. You ever thought about that? You've got a point there. That's not it at all. I learned a lot. Rika's confusion is so hilarious that everyone's bursting into laughing. Did I say something strange? Not at all. Make sure you win the next match. I will. Rika used her whole body to give me a giant nod. Mishira lost to Akuzi in a match of speed. She still has the habits she picked up as a fighter, so there were a lot of wasted movements that spelled doom for her. She changed her styles halfway through the season and hasn't gotten a chance to fully adapt. When she could keep up with Akuzi, she kept up. When she couldn't keep up, she didn't. All things considered, maybe this outcome's a good thing. It feels like Mishira is already ready to break out of her shell. She just needs that one final push. What should I do then? Today, you're using all-rounder grav shoes that are tuned towards speeder settings. I'm working under the hypothesis that she's going to get involved in a fair amount of dogfights. I chose these settings so that if she does end up facing Kurabochi, and she does need to make split-second decisions, she can. If you can challenge your opponent to a contest of speed, you should, but your main goal is to get in front of them and engage in a dogfight. Right. Akuzi will probably try to challenge you to a race of speed, but if you can stop her, everything will go in your favour. But if I don't, everything will go against me, right? No. How come? The settings on your grav shoes will make you slower than Akuzi, but you're an experienced speeder. If you throw in some shortcuts, you can take the lead in a contest of speed. It'll be speeder versus speeder, but it won't end like the match between Prez and Anyway during the summer tournament. I think you'll either barely scrape by or completely dominate this match, Rika. I'll do my best. That's your spirit. Now go out there and give her hell. Yes, sir. The match heats up on the third line. That's it. Keep it up and think up ways to stop Akuzi. Understood. Ugh, I'm not done yet. I've got to win this. Big Sis is counting on me. The first point was scored by Akuzi when she touched second. Rika started a dogfight on the second line, allowing her to rack up 2 points. Then Akuzi proceeded to touch third. After that, Rika did score 2 points on the third line, making the score 4-2 in her favour. Akuzi's trying to shake Rika and go for the boys, while Rika's attempts to push down on Akuzi's head. That's the way the match is running. Sheesh, you're a speeder, so cut it out already. Just race me, coward. I'll do whatever it takes to win. That's it. She's not rising to Akuzi's provocations. The old Rika probably would have flown into a fit of rage by now. I glance over at Akuzi's second, and she's not looking too impressed. It looks like she's considering her instructions carefully. This is the deciding moment. Akuzi's going to use to Rika's playstyle. If she can slip past Rika, she might get the next few boys. So before the other second makes a decision. Ugh. The moment Akuzi pulls away from Rika to build up speed. Rika, go for the boy. Okay. Huh? Wait! Akuzi is slow to react and gets left behind. Got it! Hell yeah. Rika successfully touches the boy. Now it's 5-2. This match is ours. Rika has control of the game and she has momentum. And because you are a speeder, Rika, you can't cut the lines. Sheesh! Ah! Rika's face. She's not being negligent. She's not straining herself. It's a perfect, diligent expression for a girl like her. But it's also the face of someone enjoying a match. If she feels that way, then everything will turn out just fine. Huh? Ugh! Rika breathes a sigh of relief as Akuzi groans in frustration. Everything went according to plan. 8-3. Hell yeah. Good job. I won. What? I won't lose next time. Akuzi suddenly appears from behind Rika. I won't lose the next time we play. Right. I'll do my best not to lose either. No, I'm gonna win. What? Akuzi abruptly goes flying to the side. Huh? You're such a naughty girl, Rika. I do apologise for the trouble my little sister has caused. I'll deal with her punishment, so I do hope you can find it in your heart to forgive her. Punishment? Please, anything but that, Big Sis. You get what you deserve. Great. Gosh, when the mouths turn into heart shapes as well as the eyes, for goodness sakes. Now, if you excuse us, let's go, Rika. Yes, madam. And just like that, Ganika-san comes and takes Akuzi away. That's sure something. You can just say that again. There are all types of people, I guess. Now then, next up is... you know who. Sachan, right? Probably. Kawabochi's match is next. I wonder how she intends to play it. I'm sure something in her past made her this way. I even got a glimpse of that during her conversation with Rika yesterday, but... think about how Kawabochi uses negative emotions to get at people sickens me. Indeed. Kawabochi made it through, just like we thought. Yes, she didn't do anything that could result in a disqualification. The worst she's done all tournament is touch her opponent on the first line in her first match, which was taken as a rule violation and cost her 1 point. She hasn't done anything particularly suspicious yet, but we can't say she hasn't done anything at all. Her floats still bother me. They always seem to be in positions that benefit Kawabochi. It's enough to raise suspicion, but not enough to investigate. Yeah, definitely true. It's like she's controlling her floats. But that's not the reason Kawabochi's winning. Her peculiar, overwhelming presence is her main weapon, and perhaps her peculiar worldview is too. Anyone who gets caught up in that loses. They practically self-destruct. Why do you think she hasn't done anything dirty yet? Because she's saving that for her battle against you. She's probably saving it for you. You think so? If there's someone you really want to beat, then you don't want to show them your trump card, right? That would make it harder for you to win. Exactly. Kawabochi's not doing anything special here. Ha 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 ha. Rika lets out a little laugh, then pants strangely. What's up? I know exactly what Sachin wants, but I'm a little scared. I'm not surprised. That's what she's best at. I should try to enjoy everything about my match with Sachan. Rika looks at the ground for a moment, including that fear, everything. If you really feel that way, you'll be fine. I hope I do. Rika's trembling slightly. Rika. I'm sorry, I'll stop now. She says that, but the trembling doesn't stop. I have to say something to motivate her, but as I'm searching for the right words... Why are you acting the part of a coward? Satuin-san suddenly appears by our sides. Satuin-senpai, how long have you been there? That isn't what's important right now. Neither is whether you're afraid or not. It isn't? It is somewhat, but it also isn't. Satuin-san speaks in a forceful tone. This isn't like her. Listen here. I do not care for Kasumi Kawabochi one bit. That is why I want you to crush her. Crush her? I also know precisely how you should crush her. The most preferable method being giving her a concussion. But that's extreme. However, that is not the kind of revenge I desire. Yeah, exactly. But you just said giving her a concussion was the most preferable method. Weren't you talking about your preference? Then what should I do? Satuin-san takes a deep breath. Why do you think people cheat? Actually, let's turn that question on its head. For what purpose do we have rules? Rules? Well, they're to ensure fair competition, aren't they? If you could use your hands in soccer, then it wouldn't be soccer. If a baseball player could run to any base he wanted after hitting the ball, then it wouldn't be baseball. Rules are what form sport, what keeps them fair. Rika's viewpoint isn't wrong. That is the conclusion, not the purpose. Oh right. Rules exist so that we may have fun competing. They do? Things that stop competition from being fun, like foul play, are prohibited. Because they're not fun. Teach Kasumi Kawabochi the fun of FC. Okay. Make her realise that playing without cheating is enjoyable. Good grief, I give up. Shattering-san just came in and stole my thunder. Understood. That's the spirit. Shattering-san flashes a fearless smile. And in the event that you succeed... Oh, I know. Shattering-san's hair suddenly flutters behind her in the breeze. I shall bequeath my inn to you. From tomorrow onwards you shall be known as Echino-san. Echino's Inn. Echino's Inn? And I shall simply be Shatu. But it is the way things should be. She never explained to us why that inn is so important. Only one person can have it at a time. Is it supposed to be like some sort of championship belt? Echino-san Inn. It sounds quite good. Not as good as Shatu-in, but... I don't think that's a good idea. Oh, please don't decline my account. I doubt I could handle the responsibility that comes with the inn as well as you can, Shatu-in-san. I see. Too bad. I'm looking forward to the match. Do your best. Good luck. So, go out there and enjoy it, Rika. I'll just say good luck. Huh? Is something wrong? Why are you so surprised? Shatu-in-san just used Rika's first name. Do you think you could repeat that last thing you just said one more time? Shatu-in-san snorts. Once you return happy, I shall say it again. Oh, okay. Masaya Hinata. I'm counting on you to support Echino-san. I'll give it everything I've got. Very good. Shatu-in-san gives us a powerful smile before leaving. And we watch her walk out of sight. I feel like I've got my courage back. Good. Rika won't be playing this match to enjoy it. Instead, her main goal is to teach Kawabochi how fun FC can be. Maybe that's the exact kind of motivation she needs to resist all of Kawabochi's negativity. I'm going to do my best. I know. It's finally time. Rika and I go through our final checks. There's nothing more I can say. You just need to strut your stuff. Right. Kawabochi will try and drag you into her own little world. And I have to stay in mine, right? Or at least just stay out of hers. Bingo. I look up toward first. Kawabochi's already hovering above it. She's looking at us. She sure is. Kawabochi stares down at us. Her mouth is carved into a sinister smile, the corners of her lips raised far higher than a normal person's. However, despite the smile, there's no hint of joy in the eyes as they peer through her long dark hair. I imagine this is what a beast looks like once it finds its prey, but this lacks an animalistic simplicity. It looks far more ominous. It's more like a witch who's found an unfortunate victim to throw into her cauldron. If you get drawn in, if you fall behind, you'll be swallowed whole by her overwhelming intensity. It won't matter if you're stronger than her. You have the tables turned on you all the same. Remember what Asuka taught you in practice, and what Shatu-in said to you earlier. I will. You can do this, Rika. Now, go out there and show her your FC. No, our FC. Okay. Rika flies off toward first. This is it. Good to see you again. Good to see you too. I can hear their conversation through Rika's mic. So, what is it? What was your name again? She goes in with a clenched line to try and get under Rika's skin. I'm Rika Ichinos. I'm glad we get to have this match. Oh, right. I'm surprised you came here. I mean, you know horrible things are going to happen to you. Horobochi's laughs as she stretches out her neck, then leans in toward Rika. Concussion. Please refrain from unnecessary chatter. Kurobochi's upper body spins, seemingly discontinued from her spine to face the referee. But what? Nothing. And then, with another unnatural spin, she's facing Rika again. You can always forfeit. Are you scared? You are scared, aren't you? Why not just run away? It's a great idea. Just run away. I'm scared, but I'm going to have fun. Is there really any point in trying to act tough here? Why not just run away before you get hurt? It'll be so much easier, don't you think? Well, I'm going to enjoy this match, so you should enjoy it with me, Sachan. Who's Sachan? Is that the referee's name? That's enough about names. Let's have a fun FC match. Fine. You know, I hear the moment you get concussed. It's so much fun, but all your memories just float away. Is that so? Enough chatter. We're starting the match. Kurobochi once again swivels to face the referee. I'm ready whenever. Do you think I can check her floats before the match begins? Kurobochi remains silent as she waves her floats around. And by doing so, she makes the special substance she smeared over her floats vanish. She's given up on being able to use her floats to her advantage in exchange for not being disqualified before the match even starts. Heh. Kurobochi leans forward sharply, glaring at Rika with bloodshot eyes. You worry about the weirdest things. One must be fully prepared in order to have fun. I'd also like to check the left float as well, please. Heh. Kurobochi displays a mouth-splitting grin as she continues to glare at Rika, and swings her left float forward. Rika checks it, then turns back to the referee. Sorry about that. Everything's fine. Right. Good to know. The referee is clearly confused by the way the two of them are acting, but continues anyway. Ready, set, go. They start by going to low yo-yos at the exact same time. How will Kurobochi tackle this first test of speed? Both players are using speed-attuned shoes. Kurobochi is wearing those by Invade, the president's favourite brand. They take a little more getting used to than your typical Japanese brand, but once you're accustomed to them, there's a lot extra you can do with them. Aha, Rika is using that word, from Small Groove, a brand that's about as standard as they come. Only hers are all-rounders by nature, tuned to be more like speeder shoes. From what I gathered during the last two matches, I think Kurobochi is using similar settings. That means she wants the match to primarily focus on speed, but also needs the ability to make more intricate maneuvers when necessary. How will things play out from here? For now, their speed is about equal. However, they're currently speeding downwards in a low yo-yo. Whoever can pull off the smoothest ascent is one who'll reach second early. Nya! Kurobochi sways slightly as she pulls up into an ascent, perhaps rocked by the sea breeze. Thanks to that, Rika's upper body is ahead of her. Was that an actual mistake, or was she trying to trick us? Be careful. Who knows what Kurobochi's plotting right now? Okay. It'll only take a moment for her to pull any dirty tricks. By the time I notice, it'll be too late for me to help her. Rika keeps her lead as she approaches second. The distance between them isn't great. Kurobochi can reach Rika as she stretches herself out. If this wasn't the start of a match, I'd order Rika to make a bigger gap. If Kurobochi breaks the rules and touches Rika, Rika will be given a point for a violation and Kurobochi will be forced to jump to the second line. Rika would then touch the boy, giving her 2 points in total. Playing dirty to control her opponents might be what Kurobochi does best, but even she won't want to give herself a 2-point handicap right off the bat. So then, what's she gonna do? I stare up at her. I'm going to touch the boy. Okay. Huh? Is she staring at me? Damn it! There's a smile plastered on Kurobochi's face, one she seemingly can't hold back. Heh. She raised her upper body, dropping her speed. My heart shudders inside my chest. Flying squirrel, watch out! Naming techniques makes it easy to communicate over radio, which is why I came up with that. It's the same technique she used to hurt Asuka, spreading out all her limbs to squish her up against the boy. I'm okay. Rika twists her body horizontally as she uses her shoulder to throw her entire arm forward. Using your shoulder lets you reach further than you would normally, but it also ruins your form. This means you only save it for the last possible moment and rarely use it outside of going for a boy. Especially on the first line, which is where it completely kills your speed. Normally using it is unthinkable. Got it! Rika uses the recoil from the second to accelerate while straining her upper body to bend backward like a shrimp. Huh? Aha, Rika's back collides with Kurobochi's chest. Ah! Nyah! The recoil from that sends Kurobochi backward and Rika down the second line. I got the first point! Good work, Rika. Breaking through the Flying Squirrel isn't all that hard. The Flying Squirrel is a technique designed to seal the shock from a collision inside a membrane, rather than allow it to spread out. To do so, you have to wedge your opponent between yourself and the boy at the perfect time. If your opponent is fully focused on the boy, you can pull it off, which means it's more effective if your opponent doesn't know about it. But both Rika and I witnessed Kurobochi using that move on Asuka. Why wouldn't we come up with a countermeasure? All we need to do is avoid it, is bump into Kurobochi and mess up her timing. Though Rika may have just touched Kurobochi, she did so after touching second, and that means the match is considered to have moved past the first line. Grr. Kurobochi's eyes widen behind her long black hair. Nyah! Huh? Kurobochi's jumping to the third line instead of the second. The third line? Does that mean she wants to challenge me to a dogfight there? Probably. Kurobochi can't catch Rika on the second line, and even if she did, they're both speeders. It won't end up in a dogfight, but a scramble from boy to boy. I assume she's come to the same conclusion. That's why she's waiting the third line, ready to challenge Rika to a dogfight. Why is she so fixated on them despite being a speeder, you ask? Because the frantic movements allow her to pull off a pincer, like she did with the Takafuji students. This is my second point. Ah! The moment Rika touches third, Kurobochi ascends on the third line. Then she shoots off like a rocket in Rika's direction. It's the suicider. This technique is supposed to drive an opponent toward the water. Dodge it! Okay. There's no need for us to play along. I won't let you escape. I'll drag you down with me. Kurobochi falls fast, chasing after Rika as she attempts to escape. Don't try and escape too soon, Rika, otherwise she can follow your movement. Holy sheesh! This suicider is perfect, and she even managed to change direction. I had a feeling before, but now I'm convinced. Kurobochi really is. There's no point running. Slow down your speed and pin her down. Okay. Great, Kurobochi comes hurtling into Rika from above. The anti-gravitons from Rika's shoes sends water flying in all directions. Nah! I can hear the sound of gritting teeth through my headset. Rika! I'm fine, don't worry, I practice this over and over with Mashiro-chan and Asaki-san, I can handle it. Rika seems to spring off the water surface. She nimbly fixes her form, then starts flying parallel to it. Kurobochi is above you and to the right. Okay. In theory, what Rika wants to do is fly in the opposite direction to gain some distance. However, Rika is below Kurobochi, and Kurobochi is moving right towards her. This is a scramble for control. Trying to get away will give Kurobochi the idea that we're afraid of her. We'd turn over control of the match. And so, Rika flies towards Kurobochi, the gap between them rapidly closing. I'll show you that I'm not afraid, Sa-chan. I'll show you how fun this can be. Rika charges head first. Heh, you're actually flying to me. What a fool. Grah! A grating sound echoes out from Kurobochi's mouth as she flies towards Rika. Nah! There's an audible crash as the two collide. Seeing Rika trying to get behind her, Kurobochi charges forward to block her path. It's coming. But if I say something now, I might just get in Rika's way. Ah! What am I saying? There's no need for me to interfere. Rika knows it's far better than me. She's learned through experience. Got you. I don't think so. Kurobochi's eyes, wide eyes are bloodshot, almost as if they're casting a red light themselves. It's almost like she's got her prey right where she wants them to. Here it comes. Come on, do it! Kasumi leans so far forward, but it's like she's entrusting her body to the wind. Almost makes me want to reach out and catch her. Huh? It's over. A long serpent suddenly extends to each side of Rika's head. Those are Kurobochi's arms stretched out to surround Rika. It's a pincer, a dirty trick designed to make your opponent faint. No way! Nyah! Rika nimbly lurches forward, pressing her own face against Kurobochi's right arm. That alone makes Kurobochi's plan crumble. Yes, focus on one arm, not go in between both of them. Ah! The two of them are shot off balance at the exact same moment. Curse you! Kurobochi's long legs cut through the air as she stretches them towards Rika, still trying to reach her. Not happening! Rika reaches out an arm and touches Kazumi's right leg. Damn it! Kurobochi keeps on reaching out, but Rika repels limb after limb. I told you, it's not happening. Breaking through a pincer is simple. When you're touched on two sides of the membrane at once, the shock has nowhere to go, so it concentrates in the middle. But you can avoid that outcome by touching your opponent first. If both arms are stretched out towards you, just touch the right arm. That alone is enough to turn things back to normal. Nah! Really, the referee should have called foul play from Kurobochi's attacks, but Rika's defense is so perfect that he hasn't had the chance. It's not happening. Don't make me keep repeating myself. Well, wait. Maybe he couldn't even tell that she's playing dirty because of how well Rika's doing. Yeah. Kasumi backs off slowly. Huh? The path to fourth opens up as if Kurobochi's recognized her loss. What does she have up her sleeve? She just keeps falling back in silence. Why would she abandon the path toward the next boy when she's a speeder? I doubt she's planning on throwing the match, so... this must be bait. Agreed, it's too obvious. Should we challenge her to a dogfight instead? No. Rika's voice resounds. I want to play along. Why? Because I want to know everything about Sa-chan. Like why she's so obsessed with playing dirty. I think I'm the only one who can figure it all out. Because I'm probably the only one who's practiced just to face her. You're right. Out of all the participants in this tournament, only Rika's trained specifically to fight Kurobochi. I'll discover everything, then maybe I'll come to an understanding. or at least comprehend it. I think I'm the only one who can do it, so I want to. Okay, if you really insist, I've got no reason to stop you. Thank you very much. Here I go. Rika starts flying toward fourth. Ah! Kurobochi is hot on her tail. Isn't this a story of her first line all over again? Is she gonna fly for the flying squirrel a second time? Her attempts at a pincer failed over and over, but maybe she's decided the flying squirrel is a safer bet. Or maybe she's trying to confirm it's useless. Sometimes when your back is against the wall and all your techniques have been rendered useless, you just want to make sure. You know there's no point, but you repeat the same move to find out if there's really no point. But does that make any sense? Is Kurobochi really a person who'd give in to her emotions like that? I realise you want to find out everything about Kurobochi, but don't let your guard down. I swear I won't. My skin is tingling right now. It's what? Tingling. I'm concentrating so hard that I can feel the vibrations of the air. I feel like I know exactly where Sachan is without even having to turn around to see her. I see. That does happen sometimes, yeah. But it's that same concentration solely at the boy is going to be your ultimate downfall. Anyone can heighten their senses by concentrating, but that doesn't normally result in your skin tingling. That only happens if you concentrate as hard as you can for an extended period of time. Only when you have a complete read of your positions, the time, your opponent, the situation, do you experience tingling on your skin. I can feel it in my body, so I can't let my guard down even if I want to. Got it. Still. Be careful. I will. Rika speeds up as she heads towards fourth. Kurobochi chases after her, not far behind. Is she really going to try Flying Squirrel? Ah! The moment Rika goes to touch fourth. Please wait one moment, Echino-san. A sweet, lovely voice rings out behind her. I won't let my guard down. No, you've got it all wrong. Aha. Asuka did the exact same thing. She's gonna talk to Rika as she approaches to smother her. Take this! Rika bends back like a prawn, twists her hips and reaches out a hand in an attempt to thrust Kurobochi away. Huh? A cold shiver runs up my spine. I love you, Echino-san. Kurobochi's hands shoot out to each of Rika's ears. She was feigning a flying squirrel to use a pincer. Straight from one dirty trick to another. I can't believe this was her plan all along. Rika! Ah! Rika's hands move too late and they both get sent flying opposite directions. Rika! Rika! Rika, are you okay? Are you still conscious? I'm fine. Rika replies, sounding in perfect health. First, I need to touch fourth. Good. She succeeds, making the score 3-0. What the hell just happened? I use the side of my head to hit Sachin's hand. As long as one side connects before the other, the pincer won't work. She forced Kurobochi's right hand into her head to get away? That's pretty dangerous. It is? In her heightened sense of concentration, she probably feels like she'll be fine no matter how dangerous a plan, so long as she doesn't mess up. Once the match is over and she's had time to cool down, she realizes how bad it really is. Ha ha ha. Kurobochi floats there, exhausted and panting for breath. Sachan, I won't let you get me with any of your tricks, so stop this already. Why don't we have a fun match? A fun match? A match where we give it our all. Playing dirty just gets in the way of that, which is why it's against the rules. So let's do this. Let's have a proper match. Don't screw up with me. It's too late. Why do you think I resort to this stuff in the first place? Because I can't win. I could never beat you by playing fair. That makes me happy. What's that supposed to mean? I'm happy that you think I'm so strong, but you're wrong. It was never about winning or losing in the beginning. We played because it was fun, because we wanted to have fun matches. You know I'm right. You're so naive. I play dirty because I want to win. Kurabochi charges head first, seemingly attempting a suicider. Sachan! Quit screwing with me. Huh? Right before Kurabochi reaches Rika, she pulls her torso up, breaking hard. Her hips project out, her head flung back. Watch out! Now slanted backwards, she thrusts her leg forward. Wow. Her legs are about to wrap around Rika. Sorry, not happening. Rika uses both hands to strike away Kurabochi's right leg. She's still in control. Ugh. The two of them are separated by the recoil. I practiced so I could say this to you. I practiced so I could make you understand. Huh? Together, let's give it our all and fly. I told you to quit screwing with me. I'm not. If we don't do that, I'll get angry. Huh? I'll get angry. So you're saying I'm not already giving it my best shot? You're not. You just don't give it, Sachan. I imagine Kurabochi has won most of her matches by being hostile and controlling the flow of the game. But Rika's anger is something Kurabochi cannot control. It's a different breed, and I think she's well aware of that. Kurabochi seems flustered. Let's play a proper FC match together. We're wasting time here. This is my FC. Then that's totally fine. Let's just play our match. I practiced so hard for this to fly with me, with you, Sachan. Fly with me? In a moment, Kurabochi's expression stiffens. She's not angry or annoyed. If anything, she's bewildered. However, she quickly forces out an ominous smile. I'm gonna make you regret this! Please do. An exhausted Kurabochi musters up what remains of her strength. I can still do this! Please do. Rika, be careful. I'm sure Kurabochi's got something up her sleeve. She's just like Asuka. She can sense the movements of the membrane. That's how she managed to concuss 3 people in a row. Air kick turns and cobras are techniques that require you to control the direction of force from your membrane. But for Kurabochi, it doesn't end there. She also has the ability to sense the direction of force in other people's membranes to some extent. I'll be fine. I'm not afraid of her now. Oh gosh, we're roaring again. Kurabochi roars as she flies towards Rika. I'll play this match and find out everything about Sachan. Rika gets into a dogfighting stance, ready to intercept Kurabochi's charge. And an air kick turn. Kurabochi seems to disregard the laws of physics as she successfully moves to the side in front of Rika. I knew it. She can use air kick turns. Ah! Rika driftily avoids Kurabochi's attempt to get behind her by rising quickly. I knew that move from practicing with Asuka. I could do a whole lot more than this. She makes the most of her speed, doing a full revolution in the air before shooting towards Kurabochi's back. Nyah! Kurabochi desperately tries to escape. See, you can fly really well, Sachan. Why play dirty? Those beautiful techniques will never work. Never. I have to be unique, or I won't make it. I have to play dirty. I just have to. She is slowly breaking. But you cannot stop us. Holy sheesh. Kurabochi's hands just shoot an unimaginable speed in a completely unexpected attack. She didn't concuss Rika with that, did she? Rika! I'm fine, she only grazed me. A graze is all it takes. I'm fine. Just a little more. Please let me continue this match. There's nothing else I can say, huh? In fact, there's nothing anyone can say. Rika intends to get her feelings through to Kurabochi no matter the cost. I have to play dirty, or I won't make it. I think anyone can make it if they try. I can feel her irritation. She has something she wants to say, but she can't form the words. Now's the time for playing, not talking. So let's play. I'm sure you'll find your answer here. If this is how your version of FC is, that's fine. But I don't want to let such a fun match end in foul play. Not when it's gotten this good. It's too soon for it. Have you been allowing her to dance to your tune, Rika? She's crying. Rika numbly dodges Kurabachi's charge. I want to have fun. Great. And so the match continues. Let's go. Kurabachi charges straight forward. Only this time she's not acting strangely in the slightest. Don't let your guard down. Yeah! Rika takes a deep breath as she dodges the charge. You're wide open. Kurabachi bends into a turn and goes for Rika's back. Not today. Rika dodges and twists around, allowing her to target Kurabachi's back after she gets away. Kurabachi is out of breath, her form unsteady due to exhaustion. Sa-chan? This is fun, right? Isn't having fun the best feeling in the world? After a moment's hesitation, Kurabachi stares right at Rika. Yeah, this is fun. So much fun. See? The two of them nod in unison. Don't let your guard down just yet. Okay, I'm coming at you again. Sure, bring it on. It's like I'm watching two kids playing FC. There's an innocence in their competition as they focus on the pure joy of the sport. It's probably lasted no more than 2 minutes, but I'm sure those 2 minutes were worth a lifetime to them. 6-0, Rika Ichino's is the winner. It was a one-sided game from the start to finish, but the way it unfolded, while it was far more frantic than any game you're likely to see, it was a fight between two people with their beliefs on the line. Wow. Kurabachi is stunned. Rika approaches her. That was a fun match, she says. You really are strong, Rick-chan. Kurabachi replies. Huh? Huh? Then she returns to the shore. You did it, Rika. Yes, Masaya-san. What's up? Sa-chan just called me Rick-chan like she used to. I see. Do you think my feelings got through to her? If nothing else, your enthusiasm definitely reached her. The match wouldn't have turned out the way otherwise. You don't see the final exchange of skill in most normal matches. It was a sight to behold. With how she decided to abandon her dirty tactics and face Rika, I doubt she imagined that. Rick-chan. Right, let's get ready for the next match. Okay. Rika answers as she descends down to follow me, and yet her eyes remain fixated on Kurabachi's retreating form. Phew, we're finally done. It flew right by us. The fall tournament has finally come to a close. The award ceremony has just ended, and all the schools are getting ready to head back. Good job, everyone. You guys worked so real hard, but who was the winner? Madoka congratulates us. I sure am glad we hit our goal. Feels like a cause for celebration. Yeah, maybe. No way! Well, at least one person seems to disagree. You're still angry, Asuka? Yeah, cause we lost. Now we have to wait until the next tournament again. You're such a silly kitty, Asuka. The tournament's only just ended, but she wants to go again. Misaki Mishira seems almost annoyed by her behaviour, but Asuka remains grumpy. Makes sense, since she seems pretty disappointed by her results. As far as Kinohama Academy is concerned, both Misaki and Asuka made it to the third round. If either of them had won their match, we would have achieved our goal. How Misaki lost to Ganakiko, and Asuka lost to Shaki Inoue, and so unfortunately, the two of them were relegated to the top 8. Trust me, Asuka-chan, I totally get how you feel, but we reached our goal, yeah? Yeah, Rika-san did well. But... Asuka looks up as she's about to scream. God, I just want to face as many people as I could. Man, Asuka's incredible. The fact that she wants to win, not to feel successful, but discover her next challenge was her towering above the rest. I wonder how far she could have gone if I chose to focus on her instead. There's no point thinking about what ifs, but I still can't help myself. I really am looking forward to seeing her perform in the next tournament. Good job out there. Fantastic work. While I begin to get lost in my fantasies, the pair from Takafuji comes over, having finished tidying up their area. Oh, here they are. Nice one. Good work. I walk over to Rika. Well done, Rika. Thank you very much. I smile at her and hold out my hand. Congrats on making it to the top 4. Thank you again. Rika takes my hand and returns my smile. In the end, only Rika managed to achieve our joint goal. For Kunohama it's a net positive, but for Takafuji it proves there's still a force to be reckoned with, even without Shindo-san. Your performance was incredible, Echino-san. Thanks to you we can return home with our heads held high. You got unlucky, Shatowin-san. I believe you could have got past second round if you'd faced someone else. Indeed. I was completely negligent. I still cannot believe that suspicious masked Skywalker bested me. Oh yeah, that masked freak beat Shatowin-san. They were surprisingly strong. Regardless, Shatowin-san stamps her foot, clearly not wanting to discuss her own results. I must thank you, Masaya Hinata. I've got a feeling I know where you're going with this, but there's no need. Rika only got this far because of her own hard work and determination. Sure, I acted as her coach in second, but in the end, I really didn't do all that much. No, I simply must. I believe you, of all people, are worthy of inheriting my inn. I knew it. Seriously, that inn is for you and you alone, Shatowin-san. Hinata-in! It has a beautiful ring to it. Yeah, sounds like a perfect fit. I feel like this is the birth of a new era. What era? Hey Rika, come on, slip! I'm about to tell her to say something, but I quickly swallow my words. For some reason, she's gone silent. I know where she's facing. Rika's expression suddenly grows tense. Huh? I sense something and spin around. You again. Kasumi Karabochi. Yikes. What? Again? Eek! Everyone pipes up in surprise and dread. Makes sense. She's already caused us enough problems for one lifetime. Why are you here? I stand in front of the girls to shield them. I don't know what she's got planned, but depending on what it is, I might have to report her to the tournament staff. Masaya-san? Sa-chan seems different. Different how? Oh! I take another look at her. Her usual ominous aura has completely vanished. Now that I think about it, her speech is lacking its usual sinister edge as well. Before, Karabochi was like a suspicious black cat, but now she's more like a sad stray. I try to soften my tone and ask what she wants again, but... I'm so sorry. Huh? The stray kitten utters an earnest apology. I said so many horrible things to all of you, not to mention how I hurt you. I'm really sorry. I had to apologize. I just knew I had to, and I couldn't bear it. I really mean it. Oh, well then. This is the real Kasumi Karabochi, huh? There's nothing left for her aloof, edgy persona in her tone. Instead, the way she's apologizing reveals her insecurities. No wait, maybe this is another trick. But by the end of her match with Rika, something had changed. Yeah, that must mean this is the real true Kasumi Kawabochi. You're kinda late. Misaki's pretty damn annoyed, and I don't blame her. You did horrible things to Asuka Senpai and the people from Takafuji. Michiru is next to chime in. Neither of them even tried to hide the expressions of anger on their face. Yeah, we can't just pretend she hasn't wronged us. Sure, we managed to participate in the full tournament, but we barely made it because of her. Our star player Asuka couldn't practice much because of her, so everyone underperformed. And what's more, the one who suffered the most. I won't forgive you. Satuin Senpai. Was Satuin-san both personally and through the damage done to the Takafuji players she's led? Yes, I know. I wasn't expecting you to. Kawabochi's expression remains meek. And Satuin-san? I think you may be misunderstanding something. Huh? Did anybody say you would be allowed to flee without receiving punishment? Oh, Are you not aware of a Japanese proverb passed down from the time immemorial? An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. I'm pretty sure that wasn't invented by us. Does she seriously believe that? And so, I give you this. Oh my goodness sakes. What the hell? I give you this. She takes some sort of paper out of her breast pocket. Then she spreads it out and thrusts it before Kawabochi. A letter of a challenge. Kasumi Kawabochi. No way. A letter of challenge? No. Everyone around us gasps in surprise. Ah! Oh, goodness sakes. Asuka, don't do this again. For one person who's experienced this before seems almost happy. I think there's something wrong with her. I don't think I will. Well, what's the matter? Weren't you desperate to face us before with all your talk of having a practice match? Oh, but I saw your match with Rika. Ah, Satuin Senpai. The way you were using your techniques in rapid succession toward the end was quite captivating. Oh no. I really... Why show such humility now? Huh? You're capable of something quite wondrous. Why keep that locked away inside yourself? Ah, those words. Though they were spoken to Kawabochi, they also reached Rika. Deciding one's own worth is a luxury not afforded to many. Oh no, I wasn't... Then pay attention to what other people have to say about you. Ah. You can remain a big fish in a small pond if that makes things easier for you, but then you will never discover a way to grow. To become a salmon, one must move to the ocean. You may be afraid of a bear's paws, but you must leave your children behind to survive. You know what a quote that is. What a line that is. I no longer understand the purpose of this analogy, but that's besides the point. She thrusts her letter of challenge forward once again. I wish to fight you once more, so accept and give me the match I desire. Okay then, I'll do it. I'll face you. Kawabochi nods as she accepts the challenge, overwhelmed with Satuin-san's intensity. Kawabochi-san. Yes? Asuka similarly thrusts a paper out toward her. I have a letter of challenge. Oh my goodness sakes. Can we just stop this, please? You brought one with you? This is just like when she gave one to Rika. Yeah, okay. You'll do it, right? You'll face me up in the sky. Of course. I'd be happy to. This situation is so absurd, but I feel like I shouldn't get involved. In any case, it's clear that the two girls who have suffered the most at Kawabochi's hands have forgiven her. Oh, fine. If the people got injured or over it, I won't stay mad. Okay, I'll cast my anger aside too. they back down pretty fast. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Kurabochi has been forgiven, but she keeps her head bowed low. Right when I'm wondering what to do, someone steps forward. Rika. Rika. She stands in front of Kurabochi and attempts to talk. I'm so sorry? Kurabochi raises her head. Rika looks at her and gently smiles. Do you think we can have another match sometime? But I don't want this to be the end. But I mean, you know, there's someone I've always wanted to face. Huh? There was this girl I knew who taught me FC, and we got along great. But then I moved away, so we lost contact. Still, I've always remembered the promise we made to one day compete against each other in an FC tournament. That promise is so important to me. Even now, I want it to come true. You still remember that, Rick-chan? Yeah, I never once forgot it. Strange, right? Huh? It's not strange. Not at all. Huh? Our promise will definitely come true. I'll work hard to make sure it does. So, I'm looking forward to it. Hehe, me too. Rika smiles. Can you show me your face for a second, Sachan? Huh? Okay. Kurabochi raises her head to let Rika get a good look at her. You really are cute, Sachan. Thank you, Rick-chan. No problem. Kurabochi bows for her several more times before eventually disappearing into the crowd. Only this time, she seems almost invigorated. Guess she finally knows what she has to do. Thank you so much for forgiving Sachan. Asuka-san, Shatterwind-senpai. Rika turns to face us and bows. This turned out great. You actually got to talk to her normally. Asuka replies with a smile. Yes, it really did. Echino-san. No. Rika. On the other hand, Shatterwind-san's expression remains stern. Yes? Rika tenses up as she stands to attention. You've created another powerful rival who will bar your path. Shatterwind-san says, unable to stop a grin forming on her face. Yes. Yes, I have. Rika replies happily. Now then, it's time for us to return home. Everything that has happened has left me starving. You said it, Shatterwind-san. My stomach's been killing me. I can't take it much longer. We can't have you fainting, senpai. Eat means no. You never pass up any chances you get, huh? Oh yeah, I'm also really hungry. Right, let's have a little celebration, or rather a review meeting and grab some food. Yay! Yes to the food, no to the meeting. Same! You're coming to the meeting whether you like it or not. These two really come alive at times like this. Someone save me. The girls start talking about what they want to get to eat, so I'll leave them be and head over to Rika. Rika? Masaya-san? Good job, Rika. Thanks. Rika nods. I can sense the strength of someone who's just overcome a previously insurmountable hurdle in her gaze. This tournament has come to a close for both Takafuji and Kunohama. Our overall results may not have been too impressive, but we still gained a lot. It's finally over. Yes, it's been several hours since the end of the tournament. Rika got in touch with me, saying she couldn't sleep, so I got her to join me on a short flight. Rika is an endless fountain of conversation topics, and I have fun discussing them all, from the trivial to the serious. Before we know it, it's completely dark out as we float through the sky. Masaya-san? She calls up my name during a moment of silence. Wonder what she wants. What's up? Rika turns towards me. The expression of her face is gentle and relaxed. I was just thinking, it's amazing how having fun changes everything. Oh yeah. Aoi-san always told me to have fun when she trained me, but I eventually turned my back on that idea. And yet, now I'm the one telling that to someone new. Not new anymore. It feels like my past and my present have finally converged, leading to a bright new future. It even got Sachan to have a change of heart. Fun is a magical word that can change lives. But do you know what also is a magical word? Love. It sure is. It makes you feel like you do anything. Like you can open your heart to anyone. But it's also something that can harm people who are already in the depths of despair. And so it's not something you can just throw around willy-nilly. It's a powerful but dangerous tool. Do you think I managed to help Sachin a little? Like how you helped me? Definitely. I hope you're right. Rika smiles. But this time, it isn't the least bit fake. It's a genuine expression of joy. I know you'll be fine, Rika. Masaya-san? You're more than strong enough to help people on your own now. I know that better than anyone. Thank you very much. I don't need a thank you. Please say exactly where you are. Okay. Sure. I smile as I face Rika. Rika takes my free hands in hers, then wraps her other one behind my back. Hehehe. And after that she giggles happily. It's an innocent laugh that's free of all worries. You know, it kind of feels like we're dancing. Do you want to try? I don't know exactly how, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Same. Let's start with a twirl. Okay. We stretch our arms out as far as possible and use centrifugal force to do a quick spin. The stars in the distance spin with us, looking oh so beautiful on the canvas of night. It's so pretty. Yeah. Occasionally Rika's body presses against mine as we spin and our lips touch. We've kissed countless times before, but it's something we'll never grow tired of. Each new one is still fresh and exciting. I love you until the end of time, Masaya-san. Those words make it clear that Rika is looking at the present and our future. She may be influenced by the past, but she won't let it hold her back. And that makes me think the same will happen to me as long as I remain by her side. Seeing her grow has taught me that there's more to be gained from accepting the past than regretting it. I can't be sure that I'll ever overcome my trauma, but I believe that day will come as long as we stick together. I love you too, Rika. Our silhouettes hover in the starry sky. We don't part for a moment, remaining one for as long as we can. Ah, and that is what you call the end of her route. Wow. What a sensational route to go through. Like, that is something along the lines of getting someone out of their shell in a way and projecting who they truly are. Like, what the coach did, what Masaya-san did, wasn't something entirely new, but it's like, I don't know, an unlocking. A means to be able to set her free from the confines of both her past and the trauma of her past friend, who is definitely now, what you would say is, forgiven probably, but also reformed into who she once was and who she truly is. So thank you all so much for watching, guys. This has been Aokana for the moment. In the next time around, I am going to tackle Mashira's route and see where that leads, because I think Mashira is the weakest one out of the 4 routes, as in the person who's got like the most potential of the Flying Circus thing, but I think she has the least potential, so I'm eager to see where that side of the story goes. So thank you all so much for watching, guys. This has been going for 2 hours now. I shall see you all in the next time. But where does this lead to? Phew, I'm all done, coach. You sure you're done now? Great. Now go do 3 more sets. Huh? You've got to be kidding me. Finishing 1 set was hard enough. Now we have to do 3 more? I'm totally serious. Look, Asuka's already on it with 0 complaints. Do you say something? Asuka responds through her headset as she zips around. Hey Asuka, you're gonna do 5 sets, yeah? Yes sir, I'll do my best. Curse that demon and her stamina. Asuka senpai is a bottomless swamp. Please don't lump a small puddle like me in with her. Better start digging so you can become a pond then. That's impossible. The sun will set before I get anywhere close. It'll be sunset before we even finish 1 set. You seem real fired up, Misaki. Should I make that 4 sets instead of 3? Oh no, you must have misheard. I didn't say anything at all. Why did you have to say that, Misaki-senpai? Oh no, I didn't say anything. This guy just tried to pile on an extra set for no reason. He's a demon, I tell you. Complain all you want. You want to improve, don't you? Well, I guess. I'm definitely gonna beat that burnt hot dog next time. Better work hard and get those 3 sets done before the sun goes down then. Monster! Demon! Give me some udon! Please give me back my peaceful life with Misaki-senpai. This is hell on earth! I'll leave those crybabies behind and head over to Madoka, who's sprawled out along the coast. Hey, get up! I give her exposed belly a gentle kick. Ow! Wow, it's just you, Hinata-kan. Almost gave me a heart attack there. Can't believe you were sleeping on the job, Madoka. Oh, it's just a light nap. Still feels like an elephant just stepped on me. Wow, rude March. Shouldn't you be making a call? We're supposed to have a joint practice session with Takafuji. Rika's the vice president over there now, so Madoka was supposed to call her to confirm ahead of time, but we're behind schedule because she forgot. Oh right, guess I'll get your cute little wife on the phone. Maybe you need another kick. Oh, so you did step on me, huh? I'll have to report that to your wife. Quiet, dumbass. Croak. Madoka croaks like a frog as her life flashes before her eyes. Ignoring her, I'll make the call myself. Hello? Right, okay, you're just about to head over. Us? Yes, the present's ready. Okay, we'll save the rest for when we meet. Uh-huh. I love you too. See you soon. Well, I certainly never expected to hear such romantic words during a business call. Well, Perez, how long have you been there? A short while. Was it you who said we should get going once preparations are complete? I'm sorry, I pulled myself together, so let's get going. Stop! Wait for me! Sheesh. What a bad influence he is, truly. Can you complain? Ah! And this time... she looks genuine rather than heinous. But who are the other 2 girls? Right, but let's go with this plan for next week. Matsuki. We're finally free from having to play dirty here. You got them real riled up, Bochi. I don't care if it's tradition or what, being forced to play dirty like that sucked. Everyone hated us. Still, you gotta admit it was a shock when they suddenly changed the devices on us. Ah, I heard a teacher from Kunohama came to visit and chewed our old one out. In any case, we are not doing any of that anymore. We'll play to have fun like we should. Well, I can't remember the last time someone told us to play for fun. It was like a banned word around these parts. We even got told not to have fun. You were so into it that we were even too scared to approach you. I'm really glad you're finally back to normal. For all of our seniors are gone, there's just us 3 left. Yeah, but I think that's a good thing. True that. You've got this, Miss President. Thanks. So I think we should start using nicknames to improve our relationship. And on that note, I'm counting on you, Mooch-chan and Mick-chan. Oh, yeah, that's great. Let's do this, Sachan. Wait, why Sachan? 'Cause going with Kachan makes you sound like a boy. Sachan's way cuter. And you said you just changed your last name recently, so turning Koporochi into Bochi doesn't really work. Oh? Okay, Sachan sounds good. Sweet. It's time for Dagomora to get a fresh start. Here we go. Yeah! Our joint practice session with Takafuji has started. These have become a regular occurrence. Rika's gone around observing everyone, and has even taken the initiative and started instructing them. She's no longer forcing herself to act diligent or intimidate Asuka. This is her true self, and her devotion to FC is clear as day. Masaya-san, we're all set. Rika informs me that she's doing setups. Done setting up the practice match schedule. Come on, Flare. Okay, then go do 3 sets. Understood. Rika-chan, can you help me out? Sure. Their words echo through the sky. They really are like sisters, aren't they, both? But they both get along so well. Rika's voice may not be as cheerful as before, but it sounds far better because it's more natural. And so I call out to her in a show of support. Go out there and have fun, Rika. Roger. Rika Thin. Aww. That is such a wonderful conclusion. Excuse me. And hearing from some friends of mine, Rika's ending or route just seemed to be the most disappointing one out of all of them. So I'm eager to see what the others foretell. I'm eager to see what they tell, okay? Let's see what we have. Okay, fun and fairness, if you say so. Oh, and even with one of her cute emotions. Like, not just the fact that Rika is purple, but also just because I would personally, as a person, would attract to her the most. It's either her or Asuka that would be the most natural to be attracted to. That's not either very, very tomboyish like Misaki, or very, very kiddish like Mishiro. Like, I still think there's a lot of unique qualities into somebody who is like a tomboy, and the other one being a bit kiddish and immature, but there we go. And just as a side note, I'm not really sure that Mishiro actually looks to be 18 or over. Even though everyone in this game is depicted to be 18 or over, Mishiro does not give me that vibe. Misaki definitely does, and perhaps Asuka and Rika, probably around the same age, definitely gives that vibe as well, but not as much as Misaki does. Misaki definitely seems to be the most mature of the group when it comes to just overall figure. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. Gallery. Okay, so this is finally unlocked. So this is all. So we've got some things which are missing here, and we've also got a music player as well. That's nice. Let's see, Asuka. So these are going individually. So if you don't want to look at one person's views, but you can look at another person's views. So we got this, all of these ones. Okay, that one's at the start, and the different emotions as well. That's brilliant. So you can click on some different times and get all the different emotions. And then there's this writing one of her. Oh my gosh. No thanks. Oh, far away. Close up. Concerned. Yeah, that was when she was looking at the match for her. There's that one. So to get to the gallery, you need to complete at least one ending of the game, but I probably don't think is the bad ending as well. So 1, 2. Okay, here's some more. So these are memories of the past, and it's only got part of the memories because we've only visited through one route's memories. So I'm sure that other characters will have their own unique memories. Okay, there's another one here which we haven't unlocked yet, so that's a little concerning. It may be her, but on a different route. So thank you so much for watching, guys. But again, is it possible to actually get a bad end? on these characters. Like, I think for the most part we did good choices, but is there a possibility of going to this point in the game and then it doesn't work out as well because the previous choices you selected were not the ones which should be? Like, before the final 4 choices, which are all individualized based on a character, all 4 of them have that exactly the same, well, all 3 of them have exactly the same one for the club. Mishiro, just got 3 different pages. A good amount of them have been filled out. All. So there's 11 pages of stitches. And then there's a music player as well, which I thoroughly love the OCT to this game. There's still a few which have not been discovered because I've not yet found them within the game. But we can't view the Sprite viewer. I imagine that's something that can only be possible if we complete all the endings to the game. So thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been Aokana at the moment. In the next time around, we shall be going with the blonde, the short, immature, but soft one in a way. Thank you so much for watching and take care of yourselves.